Welcome to the Top 5 Go podcast. I am your host, Kevin. And once again, I'm here with Aaron.
What up?
And our special guest host today, Shantae.
Yay!
Welcome, Shantae.
Shantae, congrats for making it from the guest to the guest host.
I know. I'm putting titles on it. Next will be medals.
Chris better look out. Man, you might replace him someday.
He might go missing. You never know.
Well, today we are in luck because we have a special guest from the Wasted Time podcast with Kevin and Shauna. We have Shauna.
Woo! Shauna!
Oh, God. It was so loud. Okay. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
I
to Top
feel
5 Show.
so welcome that I might get topless.
Oh, that's getting great.
Well.
That would be our first topless guest host on
It's
Top
weird
Five.
I think
because
she's trying to take my spot.
yeah.
I just got
Sorry,
this.
Shantae. I'm showing boobs. Like, what do you have to bring to the table? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Shantae, what do you have to bring to the table?
I got plenty to bring. I just don't want to offer it.
That's probably the better choice, but also I'd like to know that I'm alone. So if I was topless, it would be weirder because I'm talking to my own microphone topless with no one to see it. So it just if my neighbors
Not a
walk
video
by,
podcast.
they like be very confused.
This
That
is
sounds
not
kinda
a video
wasteful.
podcast, so I get it. Do what you want. But today, on Top 5 Go, we are going to be talking about streaming shows, streaming original shows. All the networks have them: Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime.
Pornhub.
That one too, but none of those are.
I did not
it's-
pick a Pornhub show.
Did you,
Aaron?
I mean,
I
mean,
didn't
on
either,
mine.
but it was on the table. It was an option.
it was, but probably none of us used them.
It's an honorable mention.
But
Yeah, it's definitely like cool if you're into. You don't want a plot, and you just want penetration.
some
Two girls, one butt.
We've already heard about
Ooh.
porn and girls being topless. I'm glad I got sunburned today. Otherwise, you guys would think I'm blushing.
So we're going to do
Me
top
alone
5
in
streaming
my house.
shows. As always, we like to start with the guest here at the Top 5 Go podcast. So Shauna, what is your... Do you have any criteria for your shows that you chose?
I would like to say that this show has brought on like so much stress for no reason to me because I was like, I don't like a lot of original streaming things. A lot of my fave shows are from like FXX or True TV,
Right.
and those aren't original streaming.
They're not.
And I was like, also like maybe people will like low key judge me for my choices.
No.
Not
so-
low
No,
key.
not, no.
High
Not
key.
low key.
We will
High
straight
key?
up
Directly
judge you.
judge you. This
Okay,
is not a safe space.
guess what? As
I
a
found that out
person,
the hard way.
I only seek out safe spaces, so I don't know. I don't know how to operate in a place of growth, which is what
Well,
I am.
Shauna, What
Okay.
is your number 5
Okay.
top 5 show?
Okay, it was a split between two shows. I really like Nailed It on Netflix. I love a competition-based nonsense show where it's clearly not real, like competition. It's funny. But I went with Kimmy Schmidt, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Okay.
Because
I
written
almost
by
picked that one.
Oh, I love that show, but I hate the season 4. I hate season 4. I love Titus Andromedon.
Pinot Noir.
I love him when he's like straightening his Barbie's hair in the tub. That's so fucking. And they have like Barbie pictures like in frames in their apartment. I love that. I love him so much, and I love Tina Fey. So
Well, I like Ellie Kemper.
Yeah, I
I
like
thought
Me
she
too.
was really good in
Me
Office.
too.
and
what I
enjoyed-
don't like is that they're like, "Hey, she's 29." I'm like, "No, she isn't."
That's what you didn't like.
She's 40. She's 43. Let's fucking
Is she
just call it as
43?
it.
Is she
Holy crap.
She's in her
43?
40. She's 40 something.
Damn. Okay.
She's pretty. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to
Very
be.
pretty. I
Yeah,
just
she
did
does
not
not
think
look
she
But,
was
like,
like she's in her
43.
40s.
I'm 29 and I'm trying to be like I'm 23. So if she's 29, then I'm basically dead, and I don't like that math. I don't like girl math. Is not fair to us. Jot that down.
That's write that down in the notes.
I already know it.
Kimmy
So.
Yeah.
Smith.
Oh,
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt would have been higher up the list, but she's 43.
Yeah, but,
So that
but
dropped her down.
as my husband tells me every day, in girl years, I'm basically 90.
So the divorce is almost final.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because I'm gonna crush it on Bumble.
I like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I only watched like the first 2 seasons.
I watched like 5 episodes. They were great, but I just didn't follow through.
Yeah, I get it. That's how I felt about 30 Rock.
I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't watched it full. I'm really bad about finishing streaming.
Me too.
shows.
Me
I
too.
started them, and I still love them. I just haven't finished them.
I'm like, I'm like, this is who I want my personality to be, and then I'm like, but I'm gonna watch The Office for the rest of my life. Over and over and over
If
and
Kimmy
over.
Schmidt were a real person, I'd find her very annoying.
Oh my
The
god,
show
she's
is awesome.
She's like,
But-
are my pants loud enough? I'm like, yes, they are.
It's like the girl from New Girl. Like, you
Oh.
love her in the show, but she would be annoying as
No,
fuck if
I
she was
don't love her in the
real world.
I have to be
I
honest. I
don't-
don't like Zoe Deschanel.
Oh,
Okay,
that's fair.
I like her clothes,
Well,
but
one
I
of the
hate
Property
her.
Brothers does.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I heard about
Wait.
that. I was like, what?
Aaron. Which
Yes.
property brother is it though?
The
They're
skinny,
same.
tall one.
The skinny, tall, dark-haired one.
You mean so
No,
you
no,
can't tell them
Wait,
apart?
I
No.
absolutely cannot
The
tell
shorter,
them apart.
chunky one, because the skinny, tall one
It's-
is married already, right?
It's either the one that remodels or the one that sells. I don't know.
The one that sells is married. The one that remodels is with.
I think
Okay.
it's a good
Gotcha.
rule of thumb that if you're on HGTV, you are fucking void of a personality. So, except for Joanna Gaines, I love her.
She's
I
good.
feel like she's more devoid of personality than the Property Brothers.
Oh, really?
No, oh my
She's
God,
like-
she's so beautiful and lovely, and
I mean,
she's
being
like.
beautiful does not make you have a personality.
You're correct. You're correct. But she is like
Listen,
a nice,
I just
lovely
want to hang out with
person.
Chip. Come on now.
I think Chip is too
He
wholesome for me.
reminds me of you
Oh, he's
a lot.
too wholesome.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, you know what,
Of
Aaron?
the duo, she's more wholesome. But
You're
Chip
right. They're
does
both
remind me
too
of you.
wholesome.
Chip,
I
and
feel
Chip and I would have a
I
great
could
time
see
together.
Aaron doing that.
I feel like they're like the type of people who are like, have dinner with me. I'm like, what's your fucking angle? What do you want from me?
That's fair.
I'm not watching a lot of HGTV myself.
Well, because you bought a home brand new, you don't need to do a whole lot of
Correct.
remodeling shit.
Correct.
I have a lot of work. To
He's
do.
above that. He's way too cool for that.
I just got this stuff
Channel.
from the beginning.
So I
He's like,
watch HGTV
Home and
and I go,
Garden.
I'm never going to be able to afford that, but it looks so nice.
I watch it to make myself feel better. I'm like, oh, this
Better?
person, yeah. I watch because the women on the show and the men on the show, they dress like totally like their fantasy versions of themselves. So like, I wear a fucking full length like pantsuit, and it matches, and I totally wear this every day. I'm like, no, you do not, and I don't believe you, and you're being a weird version of yourself, and I hate you.
Very emotionally invested.
So
I don't
number
do.
5.
I have a.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, I'm a very emotional person, and I will bring my personal bias into all of this. But
Okay, well,
number 5, Kimmy Schmidt.
Number 5, Kimmy Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt.
All
Or
right.
Shantae, what do you have at number
What?
5?
Oh, I went back and forth about this, but I have to go with Big Mouth.
I've
Okay.
never seen
I
that.
love Big Mouth.
It
Nick
is a
Kroll's in that.
cartoon on Netflix, and it goes. Simpsons was first, Futurama was next, then Family Guy, and then the next frontier is Big Mouth. And I think it's basically a show about puberty. And
I've
it
seen
makes
the
you
commercials.
very nostalgic. You're like, oh, I remember when I dealt with that. But it's also the raunchiest, craziest shit. I do not recommend it for children. But I do recommend that before a parent talks to their kid about that stuff, to go watch it and kind of remember how you felt then, and then talk to your kid.
I was going to slightly disagree with you on the it's not for kids. It might actually be sex education for kids of that age because
Through cartoons?
through cartoons.
Yeah, through cartoons.
It's that raunchy humor that they already kind of are into,
Right.
and there's gonna be stuff that goes over their heads because
Right.
at times there'll be things that go over my head. But as Shantae was saying, like it really does kind of put down that time of your life, that puberty time, and like the weirdness that it is, and it's
And-
fantastic in its hunt.
The thing is,
Hilarious.
I see where you're going, but I still wouldn't I don't want a kid knowing some of that shit.
That's fair. That's
But
absolutely fair.
I do totally feel like it is educational.
It's
it has
very
a lot of,
educational.
like, you wouldn't expect, you're like, what the hell is it? And you're like, wow, I think I actually learned a little something there. So
Really? I've
Yes.
only seen the commercials for it, and I
Well-
remember it being very much about puberty.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
One of the main characters is a hormone monster with a dick for a nose. So
Nice.
that gives you a little glimpse.
oh, so it's like a peek into my own middle school experience.
If you've ever watched The League, it's Nick Kroll.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So
I like The League a lot, but
Yeah,
I wish I didn't.
it's that humor.
Oh,
It's that
I do like
humor
that humor.
as cartoons and puberty. It's fantastic.
Okay,
It's really good.
I might have to check that out. Aaron,
You should.
what do you have at number 5?
So I'm actually bringing out what some people might think is a big gun. I'm going with Stranger Things. at
Oh!
number 5 on my list.
Nice.
Um,
It is a good choice.
Stranger Things just kind of brought me back to that nerdy time of my life, middle school, where I was playing pseudo Dungeons and Dragons. I never really played the actual thing, but like I had buddies that we would kind of like go through this, and it's this group of kids that are just those nerdy little dorks, and they go through this crazy ass adventure where one of their friends is sent to
sidekick.
another realm, and it's this adventure, and you have this fat dad bod cop that's kind of a
Totally
badass
has a
at the
dad
same
bod.
time, and it's just a
I
really fun
think he's hot.
nostalgia. Listen, I mean, Hopper's hot too.
Dad bods are in right
I
now.
want.
so-
I was like,
Wait,
oh,
There's
as
I was
I'm
like,
rocking
I
one.
think it's so funny that dad bods are so celebrated, but women bods are still bleh. Like, oh god, you had a baby, fucking tone it up. But if you got a dad bod, let's fuck. Like, not
I mean, aside from the haughty dad bod action, I just really like the nostalgia trip that it provides you. It's fun.
Mhm.
I mean,
What? When were you born? What
fun.
year?
I was born in '83.
Really?
Yeah, I'm old as fuck.
Damn.
How?
don't
Okay,
say that.
Shantae, when were you born?
84. It's like, stop saying shit like that.
Sorry, Shantae, you're
Young.
young. I'm old.
I crossed that threshold.
You guys,
still-
I didn't.
Yeah.
I literally would have thought you guys were like, I don't know, 30.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's very
I will
nice.
take
See,
that.
very kind of you.
Yes.
I am such a nice
We're-
person, and
both
anything I ever say,
Shantae
please
and I are
remember
rocking
this.
the Kimmy Schmidt stuff.
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
oh yeah.
Sorry.
You thought I was 36? I'm 55.
The elegant for
I
situation.
thought you were 20 because I'm trying to earn brownie points.
Thank
Do
you.
you like me now?
Brownie points, thanks.
So Kevin, I had Stranger Things. What's your number 5?
For me, at number 5, I have The Awesomes.
What's
I don't know if
that?
you've ever heard of that. So
Never.
The Awesomes was a cartoon that was on Hulu. It still is on Hulu. It stars Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers cartoon.
Ew. I don't like the
Did
Myers
you just use
Bros.
Seth Meyers?
I don't like him.
Mm,
This
So-
is a hot take. I don't like him.
that's
I'll say this about he gets a lot of like credit as being good looking, and I don't see it.
No, he
He's not
isn't.
good-looking.
He look. I
But
want to
everyone's
punch
always
him in
like,
the
"Oh, Seth
face.
Meyers, his smile, he's so good looking. I'm like,
Ew.
I don't know
Really?
about
He
him
looks.
being
He's from. No, he looks like someone that I grew up with. Not a compliment.
good. But listen,
A
The
very
Awesomes.
boring face.
The Awesomes, though, because I don't care about Seth Meyers' looks.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. No. Seth Meyers the Awesomes is a show about a group of superheroes, like a team of superheroes, like the Avengers, but they don't really have any like great superpowers. But they're like the B team of like a superhero. They're the main superhero team, and then they're the Awesomes, they B team superhero team, and it's the things they deal with the pretty much mop up duty of saving people and getting cats out of trees and the lower level superhero stuff.
have you seen the anime? The anime? The One Punch Man.
No.
That sounds like a live action One Punch Man.
Huh.
Where, well, not close, but like in the same vein. Because in One Punch Man, they rank the superheroes based on abilities, and if you don't have any, you're like the lower level. So
Okay.
they call this level for that and that level for that. It just made me think of One Punch Man and Sky High,
Sky High, yes.
Like
yes, I
the
remember
Disney
movie.
Channel original
Yeah.
the
movie.
Disney Channel original movie.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Daniel Panabaker. What?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, name
Yeah. Oh my God. Not to like plug her, but we're all Danny Panabaker fans here. Am I right?
The two of you.
We're all Danny Panty heads. If I
Fanny
would,
panty heads, is that what they are?
I mean,
They have a
if we could speak for ourselves, so that's our group name.
That is Daniel Baker, and that's the Awesomes. Shauna, what do you have for number 4?
Okay, this was so hard after number 5 because I almost put Wet Hot American Summer for number 5, but I like the movie more than I like the series, and I could not put it on my list based on liking the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I have after number 5 was like, I love it so much, so I don't know if it has an order, but I'm going to put Shrill on Hulu as my number 4. It's a show about, well, A.D. Bryant is the star. My mic did fall, but it's fine, and nobody noticed, and we're totally just going on as if everything was totally the same. And okay, so A.D. Bryant stars as Annie, I think is her name. Don't quote me on that, but she is. It's about. I'm a very big. I like women's stuff. So I don't know if I don't want to surprise any of the listeners, but I'm a woman and I have a vagina.
Oh, what?
I do.
Wow.
I have a vagina. I know. Oh my God! Edited to say that she is a man, and that would be more palatable for everybody. I like women's stories, and it's based on a book by Lindy West, and she writes about how feminism does not really include overweight women, and that's fucked up, and how we need to be better about women of all sizes being included. And I loved it because she is a fuller figure woman, like just having a man and doing like stuff that you don't see in the media from bigger women. And I loved it. I just love it. It's so funny and so emotionally. I just love it. I just love it so much.
It is a good show, and like I agree because she, wears her bathing suit out. She gets
that's my favorite episode
all of
because
those things. I haven't watched the second season yet.
The second season kind of falls flat, and that's why it's 4th. But I love that episode that you're talking about because I think almost every woman of any size is afraid to wear a bathing suit. And that whole episode is about no matter what size you are, who fucking cares?
Right.
And it's so hard to think that, and it's definitely, you don't necessarily feel comfortable, but like really at the end of the day, like, do you remember what size you were at a party you wore a bathing suit at? No. So just wear the bathing suit.
Sounds empowering. I like it. I've never seen it, but it sounds great.
What's interesting is that through 5 shows so far, we have 3 from the mind of SNL people.
SNL people are amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. You talked about A.D. Bryant, and then I had
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
They're all SNL people.
SNL people on that too.
See, that's just a good list.
Because what's her name?
I would
Maya
consider
Rudolph.
that
She's
like
on that.
I would consider that the Nick Kroll crew, because those guys, but they're gonna pull in some SNL
Nick
talent
Kroll,
too.
he's in it, but he's not the. It's what's his name? The guy that used to date Amy Poehler.
Oh, is that who?
Will Arnett?
No, not Will Arnett. They were married.
Oh.
I can't remember. I'm gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Well afterwards, and be like that guy. But
you have Shrill at number 4 for you, Shauna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Shantae, who do you have at your top 4?
My number 4 is Sense8 from Netflix.
Okay. What is it?
So,
Penn State?
Sense8. So sense like the 5 senses and then the number 8.
I've never even heard of these things. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm like
it's
like
one
sheltered.
Of the first shows I watched on Netflix. It's an older show. They have it's like 3 seasons in a movie or whatever they had, and it's by the Wachowski brothers.
Okay.
And so it's very weird. So I'm gonna get a little bit without.
Are they the Wachowski sisters now?
The Wachowski siblings, because one trans.
No, it's just one.
It's just
trans.
one transition.
I've never heard of
the Wachowski.
No, I thought it was only
siblings.
one.
It's
did,
only
but I
one.
could be wrong. Yeah.
It was one.
You double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's only one.
Yeah, so the siblings.
I'm just happy that we're considering the different pronouns. I love 2020
absolutely.
so much.
I don't know what their preferred pronouns are, but they are.
I'm so happy that we even care to be. I love that we even care.
Because
People
it's
don't.
Them,
I love
it's
it.
a weird as hell show, and I think it was uniquely Oh, they both transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they both did. I thought it
That
was
see, the
only
second
one.
one must have done it recently because it wasn't like that. Anyways, so it's very weird because it's them, and what it is it's 8 people who are basically connected. They were all born on the same day at the same moment.
Okay.
And
the same moment.
Yes, and so from that time on, they had this connection, but it didn't manifest until later, and so they can live in each other's lives. So like for one of them is a Korean woman who's a martial artist. One of them is I think it's he's the Brazilian movie star. You know, one's in Africa and he drives a truck. One's a trans woman and she lives in San Francisco. So
I wish that was
and
true.
depending
I wish
on
that.
what's going on in their lives, they can like step in and help out. So like the Korean woman, she can kick ass. So it's like, oh, these guys are bullying me, and that you can release control. She'll step in, kick their ass, and like. So that's not the whole point of it, though. That is the vehicle and it just kind of talks about connection that people have, how people who are so different can be so connected. And there's this government organization trying to seeking these people out to destroy them and harness them. So it's a lot going on, but it's so
Oof,
good. One of the
that's
first shows
an
I
amazing
watched
metaphor.
on Netflix.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I could step into the shoes of someone who was born on May 28th, 1991 at Tuesday, 12:25.
She said 91.
Please let me any other fucking life, please.
Yeah, especially if they're a billionaire. I'm like, all right,
Oh my
Tag
God.
team. Yeah, but it's
That's-
so weird. And it does take a little bit to get into it. Once you're into it, you're in. And like,
I love that. That sounds like, wow. Oh my God.
Since
I'm learning
8.
a lot about
Since
TV.
8.
Aaron, who do you have at number 4?
Do you guys like podcasts?
I
No.
I really
Podcasts
concept
are
of things, like,
lame.
you can like listen to this. One of the first podcasts I ever listened to was Serial.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are the Serial podcast.
Right.
It was about Aziz.
Adnan
Saeed.
or
Saeed.
something.
Okay, it was this kid. Nice
You're
burp.
excused.
It was
Thank
this,
you. I didn't think anyone could hear me, but okay.
It was this young man that committed a murder in Baltimore. Well, this
Fun.
woman producer, she went and like he was in prison and like she called him up and like got all this other information. Was trying to solve if he really did this thing. So to bring that up, there's a show on Netflix and it is called American Vandal.
Mm.
So American Vandal is a mockumentary.
Okay.
It is about these kids from high school that are investigating a student that drew a dick on one of his allegedly drew a dick on one of his teacher's cars, and it's probably one of the funniest fucking shows I've ever seen in my life. If you
Wait,
like,
what is it called again? Say it
it's
again.
called
American
American
Vandal.
Vandal, and
American
it is
Vandal.
seriously. I've never laughed so hard in my life on a show. It's done in that documentary, like kind of styling where they're trying to solve this mystery, but it's these two, kids that are just going around and like interviewing the other kids and unwinding this mystery of did he actually draw this dick on his teacher's
And it
car?
was so engaging. Like at first, when I didn't realize it was a mockumentary, I was like, "This really happened?" Like, like I believed them.
No, you absolutely believe that it's real, and it's just I don't know. It was a fan. I was really happy when it was introduced to me.
That kid at the end of it.
You
too.
do.
Is it on Netflix? You said?
What was that?
Netflix?
Yes.
It's on Netflix. There's 2 seasons. The second season was about someone that was like
I didn't watch the
shitting
second
themselves
season.
or something like that. It was pretty
This
funny.
sounds
Also,
like it was written for me.
Oh my god!
listen,
It's about
I absolutely-
shitting and dicks. Oh,
Literally,
sign me up.
take drawings, watch the first season, and you're going to be hooked. It's amazing. So that's my.
Again, I didn't finish the series. I haven't watched the second season, but
Yeah.
I can vouch for the first.
All right.
Well, for me at number 4, I have a newer show. It's on Amazon Prime
Okay.
Video. It's called Upload.
Upload.
Yes.
I knew you were going to mention this.
Oh,
Upload.
I love Upload. Upload is such a good show. Okay,
I'm
so
surprised at how good it is.
yeah, so
It looks like shit from the commercials. I'm just being honest.
but it's not.
Okay,
So,
but
okay,
you already
so-
said that, and I don't
Let me tell you
trust
the
you
premise.
as a person, so I
Let me
will
tell you
not
the
watch
premise.
it.
Let me
No, I'm
tell you the
kidding.
premise.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but she's right. The commercials look like shit.
They
Yeah.
do.
So it takes place in the future, humans are able to upload themselves into like a virtual afterlife to continue to like live virtually.
It sounds like a
on
Black
the
Mirror episode.
It is. It
could
is.
be.
There is a Black Mirror.
I love Black Mirror.
So is
that a
imagine
streaming
whole series.
episode? Is that a streaming series?
Yeah, Black
Yes.
Mirror.
Is it?
Yeah, she's gonna redo her list right now.
I know.
Oh shit! Ah!
And then the here's the kicker for the show, right? The main guy, dies, and he's uploaded by his very controlling girlfriend,
Very rich.
very rich, very controlling girlfriend, into the Beverly
Heaven,
Hills
whatever.
Yes.
that she pays for.
Okay.
And since she's the account holder, she is in control of everything in his
Everything.
life.
That sounds pretty fun.
But he's dead, so there's
Yeah.
not really much she can do about it.
It sounds like Jameson's life right now.
And he also, well, I don't want to give anything away.
I don't want to give anything
AKA
away.
my husband.
All right, I'm gonna have
Well,
to check this one out.
Another cool thing about it is that one of the other main characters is his like handler. Is his handler.
Call them angels.
His angel. And it's their connection and how they communicate, how he communicates with other people in this world that he didn't ask to be in, and he is now living in because his girlfriend uploaded him almost against his will.
And the moral of the story is bitches be cray.
Bitches do be
Bitches
cray.
be cray.
Don't
Watch the
date
series,
women.
you'll see how cray they actually
That's
be.
why I should stick to poor women. They can't afford that shit.
Yeah. And this has been brought to you by dateforwomen.com.
All right. So that was from me at number 4.
Poor,
Shauna, who do you
poor
have?
women, less options.
Shauna, who do you have at number 3?
Okay. I literally changed this out because
You didn't realize that Black Mirror was a streaming show?
No, I love that show, but I don't care about it. That also, the hiccups. When I was listening to Aaron talk about funny shows and blah 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 and whatever the fuck he said, I was like, I'm gonna tune him out and listen to my own thought, which is that I love Summer Heights High from HBO. It's a New Zealand show,
Okay.
and it's based on like one guy playing 3 characters, and they're all so ridiculous. And there's Jamae, the private girl, like the private school girl who goes to public school, who's like, ew, this is public school, I hate it. And then there's the drama teacher who makes a theater play based on a girl who recently overdosed and dies at the school. Dark humor. And then there is a guy who's an 8-year-old, in 8th grade, and he is a bully at the school, and he can't read. And that's the whole joke. It's really weird and funny. And I changed it from The Handmaid's Tale, which seemed pretty dark and grim. Which I still love that fucking show, but like, do I really want to talk about how women are basically cattle? Not today.
Kind of already did.
I will bring that up if you talk to me for more than 5 minutes. But
that is what's the name of that show again?
Summer Heights High,
Summer Heights
HBO.
High. Let's check it out. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
It's a weird show, and I regret changing my. Because at least people have heard of Handmaid's Tale.
It's okay. Shantae.
All right. So my number 3 is going to be controversial for lots of reasons, but it is House of Cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh!
Because
Oh,
I
Kevin
am
Spacey!
Kevin
I-
Spacey notwithstanding, the writing is phenomenal. There
It
are a
is.
lot of great actors that could have done this role. Unfortunately, they gave it to Kevin Spacey, but that
Hey,
doesn't
they
take
didn't
away
know.
from the
They
fact
didn't know.
that this show legitimized streaming TV.
I
The
stopped
first
watching
show
after the
to
first
get
episode.
a primetime Emmy. Like, this made streaming part of the game.
It made it legit.
It made it
I-
legit.
Absolutely. When a
Can we
streaming
give-
show can get an award like it did, like
Yeah.
it was okay. We're gonna put money.
There
into
would
this
be
'cause
no
this is what
Disney
people
Plus.
want.
There would be no Amazon Prime Video if
No
House of
Hulu,
Cards
no-
hadn't
yeah.
paid the
Disney Plus
And-
needs to get an homage to House
Yeah.
of Cards with Kevin Spacey in the background of all streaming.
I know, right? But on top of it, it's a fucking good show. And I think
It
I love
is.
the fact that he's so sleazy and he's a Democrat. You know, because most people,
Oh.
I guess, depending on your political leanings, most people associate sleaziness and backhandedness
With the
Republicans.
Republicans.
But
Oh,
he's a
they're
Democrat
both
and he does that shit,
sleazy.
and it's like they're all that way. They're all that way.
Imagine breaking the fucking like the whole political boundaries of like, oh, everyone who's extreme left or right is kind of an asshole,
Right?
Oh.
And I think, and that I love that. And,
I do
and also,
too.
And also, it's so good. It's just a good show, and like all the things that go on. I mean, if you really think about it, it broke a lot of barriers, and it did it so subtly that people didn't even notice.
I didn't watch
until they
after
got
the
their
first
awards,
season.
and they were like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And I think it really paved the way for a lot of things that we love to watch now.
Frank Underwood, right?
Yes.
Can we give a little bit of a spoiler? Because I can't say
Yeah,
what
go
I want
ahead.
to say. Okay,
So,
so
basically, he is
season-
a politician in D.C. He starts off as a senator. He eventually makes it a president before they get rid of him because of
I didn't
his
see that
pedophilia.
season.
And so all the wheeling and dealing he has to do to make his agenda, not necessarily the agenda of the American people, but his personal agenda happen. And then it's also about his relationship with his wife, how it's very
Robin
much
Wright.
Robin Wright,
She's
Buttercup.
awesome.
It very much is a business relationship with a couple of emotional ties, and so it's
Isn't he,
interesting to
like-
see how they navigate that, and also they're both very ambitious people.
Doesn't
So-
he? Isn't he like low key like into dudes? Is that a
Kevin
part of it?
Spacey himself
Well,
in real
in
life
real
is
life.
gay.
In real
I
life,
thought
yeah.
I thought in the show because I've only seen season 1, and I remember him
No,
like
in the
having a
show,
very
he's, like,
close
dating this
relationship.
really young reporter, like he.
Oh
in
my
the
god,
show,
that's why I
he's-
stopped watching. I was like season 1. I was like, I love Kate Mara. I fucking love her. Oh my god, she survived. I can't believe that we made it. And then season 2, they're like train.
Is someone talking?
Hello, hi.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear. Hold on.
Hold on, can I use this opportunity to go grab a beer like for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
You can hear it.
I can hear. Yeah, I'm gonna grab another drink and I'm gonna go to the restroom since we're.
Should I move? I'm moving this bottle before I spill on this very light.
Okay, hello.
I don't know
Sorry.
what I did then when it stopped working.
It's working now.
I gestured too aggressively.
Okay, well, that's okay. There's no such thing as too aggressive in my vocabulary. But I can slide right into what we're talking about because I'm very passionate about this fucking season 1.
Aaron's in the
Because
shitter. So
When I watch,
now I can't hear anything.
oh shit. Now I can't. Can I pee?
Yeah.
I have time to pee.
I can't hear anything.
Perfect.
Should take you both the headphone setup. First day here.
I didn't do anything. It was fine, and then you touched on something, and now it doesn't.
Can you hear now?
No.
What about now?
Nope.
Huh.
Is it off? Did it turn itself off? Kevin broke it.
Kevin broke it. Uh-oh.
Kevin didn't.
Is this still not working?
Let's see here.
Okay. Testing, testing.
Well, we can hear you the whole time. But can you hear us?
It just said phone one connected.
Can you hear me?
Something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can't hear you now.
I can hear you.
Kevin, talk.
I can't hear.
I can't hear anything now.
I can hear you all,
Hello.
but I can't hear.
Is everyone good to go?
Can you hear us, Shauna?
I
I can't
can.
hear Sean at all.
You
I
can't hear
can
me?
hear her.
Oh, there we
Why
go.
is this happening,
There
Kevin?
we
Because this
go.
happened last week with
There
us.
we go.
I can hear nothing.
Oh, now you're disconnected.
So this is where I think I know. No,
Oh boy, guys. Kevin, why don't you have a better podcast studio in your house?
We gotta get some
Break anything.
sponsorships first.
Yeah, get some good equipment.
It's Shantae's fault because she was doing something that
I did nothing.
Actually, the more of it, Shantae, you've definitely been to my. You
I'm
were
sure,
at my
yeah,
house
there
in
was a
Vegas.
couple of game
I know
nights.
you were. We played some dumbass fucking games at my house,
Uh-oh.
but I can't remember the games. But I remember you being in my house, and I totally remember you. And I also have pictures
Wait,
of
try
you.
the one next to
from-
you. That one looks loose.
It sounds
the
weird.
One into the actual earphone. Hello, hello.
I can't.
I think we're all here now.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Hey, we're back.
I can hear everybody
I
always.
fixed it.
You broke it.
Yay!
Which means I fixed my problem. You're welcome.
No, she broke it too.
Women
I
can do
helped
shit.
everybody.
Now let's switch back because of the way they're.
Now we know what happened.
So yeah, what happened? Those are Bluetooth headphones.
Okay.
And when you unplug it, when you pull it on accident, it when you pull it on accident, it
Disconnected from.
switched to Bluetooth instead of being plugged in.
Okay. I think we're back.
I think so.
So we're
Right?
clapping.
We're all here. We're all here.
Yes.
Shauna. Okay, there we go.
Hi.
All right. So that was 3 for you, House of Cards, right? Aaron, what do you have for? Yeah.
Can I talk
Sure.
about
No, not
this?
for hours.
No.
I just want to talk about how upset I was when
When a certain
I think if we,
character died.
I have to reveal spoiler alerts. When Kate Mara died,
that's not
because the
character
first
assassinate.
season they were like,
She
"Oh, Kate
fired
Mara,
her
she
Yeah.
made it, she made it," and I was like, "Dope, Kate Mara's still in it." Season 2, episode 1, Kate Mara's
Well,
hit
the
by a
way
fucking
she
train.
died,
I was like,
felt
never mind, I
ridiculous,
hate
but
this
didn't think
fucking
she was gonna
show.
last for too much longer.
I was so mad. Okay, but you thought that she
No,
was
I did
gonna
not
last
think
because
she
she
was gonna
made
last.
season 1. You're like,
She
oh, she
couldn't
does
have
it, and then
survived,
never mind,
no.
she
But it didn't
dies.
make sense
I
for her to
did.
keep living. Exactly.
She was like, she knows too much. Oh, and what's her face with the red hair who like is like a whore, but then they're like, but she's like gonna be murdered because she knows too much. I'm like, but I like her, please. And they're like, hit her with a car. I'm like, women are the worst. I hate myself. I hate it. I was upset. So I stopped watching after season 2, and let's go on to your
What do you
number
have?
whatever,
Well,
Aaron.
Shauna's gonna be really mad because she changed hers from the one that I have in that spot. I'm going with A Handmaid's Tale. And my number 3.
I wish we stayed the
It's
same.
so good.
It's so good.
Very much this dystopian world.
It is.
Fertility rates are basically non-existent, and women are treated. The ones that are able to birth are literally just used for their body. They're cows, like you said earlier. I think
Cows,
that's a fantastic
basically.
way
You
of
would
putting it.
think they would revere and treat them well, but no, they're like, oh,
No,
we
it's
need you.
literally
We're
like
gonna use you to
it's
raise
the rich people are able to then get their own, because you are wealthy, you are able to then get a girl that you can just utilize, and it's under the pretense of religion and stuff like that. And if you are interested at all in some of that, and you can kind of see parallels of, wow, I can see how going down some of the roads we're going down now could lead to something like this, and it's that kind of scariness to it. It's fantastic. It's shocking.
Yeah, it's
It's-
too.
it
It's a
is
little bit
absolutely
too close to
home
home at
times,
some
but it's-
points.
I think we need shows like that because it's like this is why we have separations in certain points of our lives, because we need to have those things separated so that we don't end up in a world like that, because that
The
world,
saddest part about it is that it's based on a book that was written in the 70s.
yes,
No, the 70s.
In the 80s, in the 80s. No,
Margaret
I'm pretty sure it's the
Atwood.
80s.
Yeah.
It's by Margaret Atwood.
It was written a
I'm
long
pretty sure it's
time
the 80s.
ago.
I have the
Either
book.
way, it was written
I
a
read
long
her
time
all
ago,
the
but
time.
the fact that since then to now, like, it's become even more realistic.
Nothing's. I feel like things have gotten fucking
85.
super backwards,
Yeah,
and we're
it's
all
literally-
real
it's- so
upset about
85,
it.
Mhm.
Margaret Atwood wrote this book about it, and it's a story. She's fantastic.
She's an amazing writer, by the way. She writes a lot of women's literature about, like, I read a book about her just portraying a woman who slowly it's like weird if you don't like literature metaphors, but I do. And there's a book about her, a character being eaten by a man she was married to slowly, which is a very metaphor, which is like your identity is going to be like lost in this man, which is pretty, I mean, can
She also has
happen. It just,
another
it doesn't
book.
always
It's a
happen, but
trilogy.
it
I
makes
feel
sense
like
to
that's
me.
the next one that's going to be created into a series.
Okay.
I feel like they're probably going to do it. It's called Oryx and Crake.
Okay.
And it's a trilogy. It's a dystopian future thing too.
I haven't heard
but
that yet.
in a completely different way. I think it'll be really good.
I just like the show because it makes me uncomfortable. It makes you really think of, are my actions going to potentially lead us to a society like this? So it's definitely like a thinking show, and I appreciate shows that make me think, and
It's such.
like Shante said earlier. Oh, it's
It
fantastic.
has amazing acting
even
too.
though one of them was a Scientologist, but to each their own. The lead girl.
Osprey.
Wait, who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, she's
Elizabeth
a huge
Moss.
Scientologist.
Elizabeth-
Again,
Oh,
we don't want to. If you were a
is
Sci-
she
if you
is
were
it
a
a
Scientologist,
current
She is a current
Scientologist or a
Scientologist.
if you
former?
were a Scientologist,
They asked her about her
No way,
She
Elizabeth
talked about it, which
Moss?
makes me think she's actually kind of a cool
No
Scientologist.
fucking
She's not Tom
way.
Cruise jumping on Oprah's couch.
I follow her on Instagram. She is
absolutely
married
a
Fred
Scientologist.
Armisen.
She's
That
one
should have been the first
more
red flag.
well-known ones.
What?
Not ripping on
the fuck?
Scientology. Have your own beliefs. Do whatever.
I am. That's a weird fucking thing. I'm 100%
We can
not
have another,
for it. What the?
podcast
I read
on
it
that
in
one.
100. I would like to set the record straight that Scientology is fucking bullshit. So I will take the fucking bullet for it. I read a whole book about it. It's weird
a lot
shit.
Of different things are pretty wacky. So anyway, I chose *Handmaid's Tale* in my.
Yeah,
in my
but it's
slot
really
number
fucking
three.
weird.
Kevin, what about you?
So mine is nowhere near as deep as House of Cards or Handmaid's Tale.
Or *Summer Heights*.
Or
House of
Summer
Carbs.
Mine's at 3.
Oh my god, I wish I didn't change
Well, for
it.
me,
I
at 3, I have,
fucking
Friends from
regret
College.
it now.
Okay.
Oh, I did like that.
So-
That
Such a
show
good
makes me
show.
so
Oh,
uncomfortable.
I like
but
that
I
show.
So for those that
I
don't
like
know,
that
it's a
show.
about a group of friends. There's infidelity. They're friends from college,
Yes.
obviously.
Are they from
Oh.
college?
I can't believe we've
Shockingly.
all
I know
seen
that-
that show.
But what's crazy is that
That's
they're in
the
their
first-
40s
that's-
now, and
That's
there's infidelity. They're still hot, but there's infidelity.
still hot.
They're fucking
Colby
each other.
Smulders.
Yeah, fucking
The show stars
unrealistic.
Keegan Michael Key, Colby Smulders, Nate Baxton, Nat Baxton, Brett Savage. It's just such a good show. They had 2 seasons. It just never really caught for people.
I think it will.
No.
I think it's gonna have a third. I'm pretty sure. No, it's done.
Those,
Where am I
those
getting?
2
I'm not
seasons,
getting my
though,
news from the
I
right
enjoyed
spot.
them
I did not hear
immensely.
that.
I thought it was great, and it's extremely funny.
Oh, what I really connected with for no reason at all, because I have no relatable struggles, was Colby Smulders being like, I want to get
Yeah.
pregnant, but I can't.
tough.
I was like,
It's
oh my
tough
god,
for
that's
her.
so rough. I'm so sorry. I related to that for no reason other than I am empathetic. I'm pretty sure I'm fertile as hell.
I really enjoyed the fact that Keegan Michael Key, the show starts the series starts off with him hooking up with his friend Sam, played by Annie
Samantha.
Reese.
Yeah.
Her last name. But he's hooking up with her.
Who
And you're like, okay,
cares?
this is interesting. And then you find out that they've been
They're
hooking
married
up
to
since
other
college,
people.
and they're married to other people. And you're like, oh.
Oh, and they kill a
They
goddamn
did
bunny.
kill a bunny.
They kill a
Yeah.
bunny
So
together.
they're-
We're just supposed to look the other way.
basically serial
You
killers.
pieces
Yeah.
of shits.
And
Yeah. They're basically the highest crime
Bunny
you can
killing.
commit as a
Bunny
human
killing.
being.
I just think the show is so smartly written.
Yeah.
And the acting was
It's very
fantastic. It was so
It
funny.
is.
Mhm.
It just sucks that it only had 2 seasons, but that was a show that I really enjoyed.
I can't believe it's done. I thought it was.
No,
I thought
not a
it
lot
was
of people
gonna be-
watched
I
it.
thought there would be a third. I
It's
hate
that
the world. I thought
uncomfortable
every
stuff
show I
that's
love
going
is
on.
never
Very
coming
uncomfortable,
back.
but It was
Chuckle,
definitely,
you
but funny.
cringe.
It was very cringeworthy,
Yeah.
but it's funny.
Oh, I'm sure there was some.
That's the first show we've all
Hey, we're
watched.
getting high
like,
up on the
across
list.
all
Yeah,
four
we're
of
getting
us.
further up. It's,
That's
you know,
so
though,
weird.
I think part of the reason
Yeah.
that the show was, you say, cringeworthy for some people.
It's that cringeworthy.
Well, I think for some of them it was their lives, like now
It's
at
possible.
40 something, 30,
Yeah.
late 30s. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking about it. We've known Shauna for 3 years or so.
Yeah.
We've known each other for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we've known each other
that
for
7
7.
snuck
What's
up.
your
We're
point?
like,
Yeah, we
wait,
just
how
realized
many
it
years?
today.
Okay, guess what now? I'm like effectively on the
You're
outside.
right.
Congrats
Always on the
on that. I now feel
No, we're just friends talking about
disconnected.
stuff. But,
I'll just
Oh,
go
you're
fuck
weird.
myself.
You're
Everybody needs release sometimes. That's fine.
Do what you gotta do. All right, Sean. At number 2, who do you get?
Okay, number 2, this show is full of characters I fucking hate, but I love the show, and it's on HBO, and it's Girls. I fucking love Girls, and I hate Lena Dunham. I do.
Wait,
That's
the point is the hater?
The point is the
sometimes
hate
I like
much.
watching shows with I don't even hate watch it. Like, I like watching a fucking entitled snotty bitch because it makes me feel like, oh, she's like still got relatable. I don't know. I relate to some of the characters. I hate some of the characters. It makes me feel like this is a real depiction of life. I don't love everybody. I like some people. That's like as accurate as you can
I've watched a
get.
couple episodes. I related to absolutely no one on this show.
I haven't watched it at all.
Well, okay, you know what's a fair assessment? I read a book by a woman named Roxane Gay, and she was like, hey, guess what's not feminist? Girls. There's no diversity at all, and everyone has like a fucking apartment paid by their parents. I'm like,
She wasn't wrong.
True. I mean, like, I can't deny that. I cannot relate to someone who is
Has an
fucking
apartment
24
in New
and
York.
like their parents pay for their apartment. I can't understand that at all.
I was
But
gonna say,
I love that.
We all have unreasonable.
Yeah, they're like,
expectations of New York, because we probably all grew up watching Friends. Have you seen that apartment?
That ginormous
Oh,
apartment.
No, I
I've
won't watch
been to New York
Friends.
with people that were living there, like my age and same age. Those are
Well,
closets.
they're all
that
like,
they live
hey,
in.
this-
Holy crap.
It's funny. None of my friends who I know in New York live
These
in Manhattan. They all live,
1,500
Queens
square foot-
or like the untrendy part of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
10-floor walk up.
I went to New York one time. I visited New York, but I also lived in Boston at the time, and I understood that like the Boston you show on TV is not the Boston you live in. So I just like I like 2 of the characters so much, and I hate 2 of the characters so much. And I like that. I think they could have done a better job of like depicting like women's issues, but I love that show
Nothing wrong
still,
with
and
that.
I can't help it. I just love that show. And Lena Dunham unnecessarily shows her triangle titties everywhere,
I
and
also
you're
feel
like,
like
"Thank
she
you,"
was
because
also trying to be that
that's a different.
Model size person, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "Look at me," and you're like, "Okay, like no, it's fine, it's fine. We don't need your
You
pussy
always
in this
need
shot,
pussy
though."
in this shot.
I mean, she was like, "I'm gonna sunbathe my pussy," and you're like, "Well, okay. I mean, I'm okay. I'm so accepting of your
I don't
not
need
being
to
a
see it.
model size.
Yeah.
I don't need to see your vagina straight on, though. I don't need your vagina to break the fourth wall." But
Consistently got
okay.
dudes that were like out of her range too. I was like, damn, how the fuck?
But you know who I love? I loved Elijah
Nope.
so
I-
much. Has
I
anyone
only
actually
watched
watched
a
this?
few episodes, like I
Shante, you
said.
watch this? No. Oh my god.
Really, but the few I was like, how
Yeah,
the fuck
I'm
are you
sorry,
with him?
but
How the fuck are you?
okay,
Who-
so there's-
what? Like clearly this was her
Okay,
own
there was-
masturbatory dream,
Child-
and she picked all these
Is
dudes.
it Adam Driver?
Yeah, true. She
Adam
like
Adam
deaf.
Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver. But Adam Driver is the guy who's like, you're hot, but I don't want you to be hot
He's
because you're
not
not
hot.
physically hot.
He's a very talented.
Yeah, but why? He's talented in the way you're like, my vagina's responding,
For
but
me,
my
it's the
brain's
reverse.
not.
My brain is
I don't
responding. My
get it.
vagina's like, nope, not today, hun.
Really? My vagina's like perks up. She's like, money is happening somewhere with this guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm so just kidding. But I like that show because Elijah's really fucking funny and Ray's really whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a bunch of people I hate, but I also love that show, and I would watch it millions of times
All right.
over, and I have, and I love that show.
Shante.
Fight
who do you
me!
have
At number 2, it's already been said, but it's higher on my list, and I'm not changing my list. Handmaid's Tale.
at number 2? Okay.
Okay.
It's my number 2.
Ah,
mostly
yeah.
because my top 2 are the ones that really affected the cultural zeitgeist. Like people do protests in Handmaid's gear, and like that's all they need, and you know exactly what's going on. Like it
Yeah.
really affected the social consciousness of the country, of the world, I'll even say. And so that's why it's my
It
number
did.
2. And it's another one that kind of was the stepping
For a
stone
good
to
reason,
legitimacy
too.
for streaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that
It's
show.
alright.
I wish
Like,
I'd been
Handmaid's
changing my
Tale
shit. I'm
seems to
sorry,
be a
guys.
really- I just tried it once. I didn't see
You haven't
it.
watched it?
Like,
I think we love
gonna
all
fuck up
we
your
all
day.
love
Yeah, you're
Handmaid's
just gonna be like,
Tale.
well, yeah.
Oh, it's not
No,
like
no,
a
you
I'm
watch-
going
you
to
need to watch a
unwind
funny
today.
show.
It's like
But the thing that will fuck you up is not so much how crazy it is, but how plausible. Like, you're like, you know what? That could happen.
yeah, that's the fucked up. Oh, when they're like the first few episodes where they're like, "Hey, this happened. We didn't wake up. Hey, this happened. We didn't wake up." I'm like, "Uh-oh, this is like what happened yesterday." Like, we didn't wake. Hey, we didn't wake up. I
We're
really
having to
don't
check
want to
it
have a
out.
baby
Listen,
for sport.
I'm not mad that Shantae put that at 2. Like, that's a definitely legitimate spot for it. It fit in my 3 spot.
It
Like,
was-
well, but
it-
yeah, it's definitely a show worth watching.
Well, what do you have in your 2 spot, Aaron?
Well, I went with The Boys on Amazon.
Very good.
So
I've heard so
The
much
Boys
about
is
that. I've heard so much
fantastic.
about that.
It is a TV show in a universe with like superpowered humans, but it's not told the way you would think it is.
It doesn't
Those-
idolize the
Those
superhero.
superheroes in that show
Douchebag.
are not
They are
what you think they are.
assholes.
Kevin just used an appropriate word. They're douchebags. Like, complete assholes. So imagine Superman being a complete cunt. Like, just an asshole. Because he has the ability to. Because who's going to stop him?
We
I
should
kind
be
of
honest,
already
it makes more sense
imagined
for our
superheroes
world.
to be like
so,
that.
yeah. So, again,
Yeah, they're
Oh,
like,
okay,
oh,
so
I'm like way better
so
than
The
you.
Boys is badass
Let me
because
flex on you.
the superheroes, which when you think of superheroes, they're your, oh my god, I'm going to focus on them, they're awesome. It's actually about this ragtag bunch of other peoples
Called The Boys.
called The Boys. There's a couple of girls in The Boys, just so you guys know. This is based on a graphic novel, but it's the group of superheroes is called The Seven, and basically this group of The Boys is trying to take down the Seven or the corporation.
The corporation.
Because that's the biggest thing. Is superheroes are corporately run.
Right.
So they are run by a corporation. So it's all about your online presence. And so don't be a superhero and fuck up because you might lose.
Speaking of
corporate
messing
dollars.
up as a superhero, so not to give anything away, but the very beginning of the show, the reason everything gets kicked off is because this dude's girlfriend gets killed by a guy named A-Train. So think the Flash.
Within minutes of the show
At the
opening.
first- yeah,
So
the
think
first
of the
episode,
Flash, okay? And he's running super fast and runs right through the woman, which explodes her.
Yeah.
The dude is literally holding
Holding
his
her hands.
girlfriend's hand. So
That's all that's left of
that's
her.
all that is left is her hands. And it is, you are like, if
Shocked.
you're just like, oh, no, it's heavy.
It
It's
sounds
heavy.
like a
Listen,
lot.
it's heavy,
Am I
it's
wrong to
graphic.
think it sounds like a lot?
It's
They pull
amazing,
it-
though.
They literally do.
I don't like
fantastic
graphic.
jobs. I've breezed through the graphic novel. I haven't read it yet, but I definitely, when I heard of the show, I watched the show. I went to Barnes and Noble and I was like looking through graphic novels. I looked through it. They do a very good job of what I saw of making sure that those scenes, because that's the best part of a graphic novel is being able to see the imagery, and they captured that scene of Adrian
Right.
running through her so well.
Well, then that's what's crazy is that they run through her, and the reason he joins the boys is because they want to they offer his their condolences, and just like any corporation, they offer him like a settlement.
And
Yeah,
bullshit hit.
it's a
Yeah.
bullshit, but again,
It's not equal
corporate
in
run
human life. Right.
superheroes. Another point I wanted to say about that is Carl Urban, who is a New Zealand actor, is the main guy. He's Billy Butcher.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Carl Urban, he's a freaking chameleon. He's been in
He's
so
in
many things.
Lord of the
And
Rings.
He's Lord of the Rings. He's in Thor Ragnarok. He's in like Star Trek Beyond. Like he's in so many.
It's so funny because he's in pretty much all the superhero movies, and then he's in this show that's
Yeah.
pretty much a satire and critique of all the superhero machine.
He's in. Yeah, I love that point. That is absolutely accurate. I just love the fact that it's like, where have I seen this guy? Like I watched it for the
Everywhere.
first time, and I'm like, I've seen this guy. I've seen this guy. And then there's like memes about him online. And you're just like, how do you chameleon yourself to look like because it looks like him, but he's such a great character actor, and for him to get a huge lead role because he's normally like kind of a secondary part, but it's just I need to give Carl Urban some praise because dude's a fantastic actor.
Props to the Kiwi.
Kevin, what about you, buddy?
So for me, at number 2, I had a show that I know you guys have never heard of.
Okay.
But the show was just so good, and it only had 1 season. It's called The Yard.
The Yard. Okay.
The Yard was a show that was a Canadian show that aired on Hulu all the way back in 2011.
Okay.
That's when I saw it. So The Yard is a set in a schoolyard, and the series depicts the interactions of 2 rival gangs of elementary school students. There's 2
I'm good. No, barely.
elementary school, 2 groups, elementary school students. It's a mockumentary, and then it's told from the. So think Recess with adults.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
Recess
I
with
love
like
Recess is great.
so
I can think it. We actually played a
The kid
kickball
from
game with
Recess?
someone who
Was
looks
he
like
TJ?
they actually the kid from Recess. Yeah, I don't know. He looks like I don't know his name anymore, and that sounds meaner when I don't know his name. But he looks like the kid with the
Oh.
blonde hair and
Oh,
his
the little
spiky
nerd
and
dude?
his
Gus.
glasses.
So this show.
He was
So,
a
like, here
fun
are a couple,
guy.
like, the titles of the episode. There was 6 episodes. One title of the episode, The Economy. There's trading cards, like Pokemon cards, and then they're discussing how that is the currency in the schoolyard.
Back in my day, it was Pogs.
Same
Oh, yeah,
idea, that was the
Pogs.
currency.
We collect those pogs.
Another one,
Oh my
Girls versus
god, I
Boys.
remember those.
They talk about adult issues, including like sexual harassment and things on the playground for these kids.
Okay.
Another one, the territories.
Fun
And
stuff.
The soccer kids are over here. We're over here. This is our area. This is their
Talking
area.
about clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's like The Sopranos,
The Sopranos of elementary school.
but elementary school.
I like it.
I
Sounds
believe
like
that.
a cool premise.
I feel like there was a hierarchy like that.
The Yard.
it's
There absolutely was.
one of my favorite episodes. It's called The Catcher, and talk about the black market and how they're selling for trading cards, the currency, for like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, what you bring for lunch. Like there is on the low. It's a very good show.
Nice.
Check it out. It's called The Yard.
The
It's
Yard
on
on
Hulu.
Okay.
It's still on Hulu today, I believe. There's only 1 season,
So it's quick to get through.
6 episodes.
It's like free.
Is
It's like
and you said
Freaks
it's
and
Canadian
Geeks,
or
but of the
British?
2020
Yeah, like Freaks
variety.
and Geeks, yeah. Like Kid Sopranos.
Freaks and Geeks, but elementary school.
Kids, but like it's like Sopranos, but if you were in like the 2nd grade,
Yeah.
as you wish the
website
Sopranos
The
was
Great
the
called
whole
it The
time.
Wire Babies.
That's funny.
Love it.
That's funny.
Oh, that sounds like some fucked up shit that you think about, like wires and
Oh,
babies.
damn.
Yeah.
You just went somewhere
Yeah.
and
I
I
don't
was
like-
not
I
prepared.
don't like it.
Wrong.
It's
Wrong
like,
wire.
wrong
Wrong
I
wire.
did
Wire.
not.
Wrong
Oh,
wire.
and now
Hey, everyone.
I'm
That was
closing
nice
my
to meet
legs.
Shauna.
so-
And now we're gonna go to our top. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
Jonah, we're at it. What is your number 1 streaming?
My number 1 streaming Netflix,
Oh, so good.
Master of None. I fucking love that show. I love that show. It's so good. It's only 2 seasons. I don't know if there's a number 3. I am
Except
very
Aziz.
upset that there's maybe not a number
Aziz,
3.
I'm sorry.
I love Aziz Ansari. It's so amazing. It's a show about a guy living in New York. It has some subtext of like being an Indian living in New York and maybe like not getting as many roles as he should be because of stereotypes in Hollywood. It's also about some sexist shit. And I love that episode.
about
It's
life.
also just, I mean, it's just about being a human. It's about life. It's fucking amazing. I fucking love it. I love every character. I hate no part of this this series. I love this series. It's my
Right.
favorite show.
I love it. Look,
Big
Master of
up
None.
Aziz.
Have you guys seen Master of None?
Again, another
I've
one
not
I've watched
seen
a few episodes of.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't
And
seen it yet.
it's one of
But
those ones I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then for
It's-
some reason I never finished
That's what I
it, but-
learned from
It's
making my
so-
top 5 list. Is there
Oh.
are so many shows that I have heard of and heard great things about it,
Yes.
but I still haven't.
the
seen
golden
it
era of
or completed.
TV.
And Master of None is one that I've heard of. But
Oh.
just haven't. Yeah.
You
That's
Some
what I
should
was
shows I've
say.
seen, I
you
like.
should fully
Yeah,
watch it.
that's-
It's so Jameson, my husband said, and I quote, "You can make this your joke. It's master of number one of your list." And I
yet you
said, "That's
still-
not funny at all."
that's why she attributed it to him. She gave it to him.
Well, I wanted to let you know. I wanted to
I
let you know.
appreciate
The
that she gave her
blame.
husband credit for a bad
I'm
joke.
gonna say it, but I want to let you
Listen, I don't
know that
have
I
anyone
know it's
credit
not
for bad
funny
jokes
right
other than
away.
myself.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
The Master of None.
He was like, use this on your podcast. I'm like, "Oh, sweetie, you're not
The
funny
Master of
though."
None. Like she said, it's a man. Aziz is just a regular dude, and it's just him going through his life. The first episode is him going and talking to his friends about how they have kids, and he doesn't then pine for them himself. He like helps babysit.
Yeah, I
for them.
love that episode.
It's like this is terrible.
It's amazing how it's just like everything you're
30s
going through as a
person.
late 20s, early
Mid-30s,
30s,
mid-
perhaps
30s.
even
Just gonna
late
watch it go.
30s individual.
Thank you, because I have people in my life to say I'm almost
It's
40.
probably one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
it's like those bastards.
Fuck you.
Oh, but if you tell 18-year-old girls who just graduated high school that you have a
See,
car,
and
they
that's
won't
very
ask how old you are.
problematic.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah,
It is for society, for
definitely need him to
Aaron.
be able to go to a bar at least. Like,
Exactly.
Let's be real.
Okay, he's like all of a sudden
That's
so
just the
I don't
specific.
feel
It's
that's
just
very
the rule.
specific at all.
That's just the rule. You know, that's how it works.
Oh, he has like standards or whatever. He has this word. He has this word that I've never actually.
Recently,
Stop.
They've
single,
developed
Standards?
maturity.
so I don't know. Maybe Sean's
Who
right.
knows?
You know, as long as they've walked across the stage at graduation. So this year's kids don't count. That's a joke, people, listeners.
Oh, yeah, that's
Say, what do you have as number one on your
My
list?
number one, again, a huge impact on the cultural zeitgeist, Black Mirror.
Okay.
Like, so good. Every
Oh,
episode,
so
except
good!
for the unfortunate Miley Cyrus. Oh my God, what were they thinking?
Miley
I feel
Cyrus
they
episode.
Owed somebody money. Or lost
it's
them or
so
something.
bad.
But
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Right,
Me,
yeah.
you, and
other than
Ashley
that,
too.
oh my
It's
gosh,
like I didn't
it
ask
freaks
for this,
you out.
bitch.
It makes
I
you
hate
think.
this.
It makes you scared. It makes you afraid of your phone. Like you can't look at it. You're like, what are you gonna do to me? And then the
Oh,
Bandersnatch,
that's what
which
the-
isn't part
that's
of
what
it,
the
but
Black
it's a
Mirror
movie.
is.
And Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt took.
I don't like the
that
movie.
and created a version themselves. So like they're
Oh,
continually
and they made their own,
affecting other
yeah.
streaming. They're affecting our lives, and I truly believe that there are companies out there that take what they see on Black Mirror and try to make it reality because those people are crazy and all they care about is money. But Black Mirror, number one.
What I love about that series is that episode where the girl is
I've seen that one.
it's
The
Bryce
5
Dallas
stars?
Howard, and she's
Yes.
like my
That was
rating, my
good.
rating. Yes, and that
all
is
of
like,
them.
is that not
I
Instagram
love
to a
the
fucking T?
concept of watching short stories. Like it's like watching a short film, and you know, because our
Yeah.
list right now mostly is constructed of things that you have to watch for episodes upon episodes, and I love character development and stuff like that.
Consecutively.
What they do in Black Mirror is you can
This is
watch
so you can
any
watch
episode on any
individually.
season pretty much, and get it. It's short stories,
Standalone episodes.
but it's standalone episodes, but they're so well done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I also feel they are cohesive
They are.
because there are
Yeah.
episodes that refer to other episodes.
They do.
And when
They
I
are.
would watch it, I would like create in my head a
Yeah.
timeline of like, okay, in the Black Mirror timeline, where would this episode come? Would it be earlier in the timeline?
In
or
the Black
later?
Mirrorverse.
And so even though they're not explicitly connected, they still kind
Yeah,
of
they
are.
have a connection at
Mhm.
times too. It's a really, really neat show. It's
Yes.
definitely on my honorable mention list for sure.
Yes.
John Hamm
And
is
John
a handsome
Hamm, am
man.
I right, guys?
They have a lot of handsome people.
He's
and
so
Letitia
fucking
Wright
hot,
Sherry,
it's, like,
she makes
dumb.
her appearance. That's the first time I saw her, and then she was on. She's in the one.
Which episode?
How it's called, but it's the museum, and again,
San
catching the
Junipero.
connection to all the other episodes.
Oh,
he
yeah,
has
that's a good episode.
artifacts from other things that call
That
back to
one
other
was
episodes.
really
She's
good.
in the one where they take your consciousness and people can download it over and over, so they're torturing her dad. But she comes in with this like British accent, which is actually her natural accent, and then she switches to this Southern accent, which I
Is
was
it?
like, oh. And then when I found out she actually is British, I thought she was faking it.
Oh,
So good. Yeah.
And it takes
So,
place in
Close
Valley
to
of
us,
Fire.
so it
that,
made me feel
like,
connection.
yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
I like that episode. I really like
When the president has to
shit.
fuck the pig.
Oh, that one.
That episode.
Oh, that was
loved
no,
it
I
because
hate
they
that.
released her
That
before he
that
ever
was-
went to pig, but no one was paying attention. Like it totally plays on her own.
Black Mirror makes you think.
that's
That
the
happened
second.
and
That's
the mob mentality.
that's
and it
the
makes you go,
second
crap.
episode, and I was
it
like,
makes you think. It,
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that this may be a bold statement, but we lack some critical thinking skills in this country. And I absolutely, like,
we
that's from
definitely
people.
do.
I mean, even people in this room at times,
We
might not-
definitely
it's
do.
human nature to,
Right.
to just kind of stick
Go
to
with
your
the
whatevers.
flow.
But
Yeah.
I like Black Mirror because it does make you think.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah.
All right, Aaron, what's your number one?
So I went with a pretty fantastic character. This character's been played by 5 different pretty famous actors.
I'm gonna guess
What
in
do
my
you
head
got?
what
You
I'm
gotta
getting.
guess. You gotta guess.
Sherlock.
It's not Sherlock, but that's a good guess.
Doctor Who.
Not Doctor Who either. This is 5 guys. His name's Jack Ryan. So by the way, little side note, I thought
What?
when I sat down to write my list, I thought I was gonna have like a majority Netflix because that's the one.
Right.
But like some of these up and comers have created some really good shows.
Yeah, I do
And-
feel like Amazon came for people's necks.
So yeah, listen, and Amazon, like Jack Ryan, the TV series on Amazon is fantastic. If you don't know who Jack Ryan is, this character, it was a Tom Clancy
Mhm.
character. He's been played by actors such as Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, and Chris Pine. So those were all in the movies, and then they brought it to TV. Chris
Yeah,
Pine.
the
Wait,
most
Chris
recent movie
He
was
was
Chris
Pine or
Pine.
It was Chris
Klein?
Pine,
I
and
will
I
say
think
he
it had
wasn't my
It
favorite.
had Keira Knightley in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I don't know who
great.
that
It's
is.
great.
But and the Ben Affleck one was so. It was Ben Affleck before he became a director. Ben Affleck,
Right.
you know, not as good. Harrison Ford.
Ben Affleck
Harrison
before he was
Ford-
like, I'm
Harrison
going
Ford
to
was
give up my
Jack
Boston
Ryan.
accent to be
Person
more
named
marketable.
He
Jack.
did
Patriot
2
Games.
movies. Yeah.
He did Patriot Games, and Hunt for Red October was Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Again, if you don't know who Jack Ryan is, he is a CIA analyst. But
No.
he's
24?
He's not Jack Bauer.
No.
No?
But he has Jack. But he
Oh,
has
shit.
Jack
Then I
Bauer's
don't know who
skill
he
set in a
is.
way. Like he's hyper intelligent because he's
But
an analyst
wait.
role.
Okay, sorry.
But as we move through, when they changed the character a little bit, the one that we have in the TV show, who is played by John Krasinski from The Office, which actually makes you go, man, this guy's actually kind of sexy,
Ugh.
right?
Right?
Like, you know, like John
When it first came out, I was like,
No.
Jim from The
John
Office as Jack
as Jack
Ryan.
Ryan. I don't know. And then I watched. I was like, Jim from
He
The
looks like
Office.
he looks.
Jack
Jim
Ryan.
from The Office, ladies and
Exactly.
gentlemen. By the way, I'm straight as all hell, and damn,
My
John
brother looks
Krasinski-
like him. I
Wow.
can't.
Yeah.
I
Our
don't
brother
think he's
looks like
sexy.
him. Y'all knew that?
I didn't know. Listen,
And when you guys are like, he's so
Well,
fucking
you
hot,
did-
I'm like,
you don't
my
have to be
vagina
his
is
hot, but
upset.
you want
I'm
the-
like, I can't.
anyway,
I didn't understand.
I cannot
Like,
participate.
I liked him as Jim, and I loved him as
Yeah.
Jim. I could not see him as an action hero
He is
until
a-
I watched this show.
he is a
I
fucking
can't see him as
action hero.
anything but
I believe
Jim.
He's a
seasons,
cerebral action hero.
I believe, yes, he's intelligent. he is, like, it's one, I'm going to prove you wrong this way, and since you're not going to listen to me, then I'm going to do my thing and then kick some ass.
Yeah.
There's just really strong character development in it.
Yes.
Great acting all around, and it's espionage, it's spy, there's some sexiness to it, and literally Jim from The Office is a sex symbol now,
Yeah.
and holy crap.
He totally is.
You know,
He did his workouts. He
Yeah.
delivered.
Yeah, so I've been very impressed with the 2 seasons that I've watched so far.
I agree.
I can't not, like, I get upset if I have to, if I can't binge the whole season in one, like, go, because it's that good.
I do. I get really fucking angry about
but-
it if I'm
yeah.
like,
So
oh, you're gonna make me
that
wait. Fuck
upset with
you.
Hulu about because like, they put theirs out weekly. I'm like, it's streaming. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Oh my god. I know. I was so mad about Survivor season 40. They're like,
not a
Corona hit.
survivor.
You still have to be weekly. I'm like, but circums. Oh well,
There's
me and Kevin are Survivor
that's not
hits.
streaming.
So.
I know you only watch it on the app, but it's a regular network show.
I know.
So-
I'm saying that I wish that
so
they just
anyway,
like fucking
I
put
got
it
Jack
all
Ryan
out
in
at
my
once.
number
They
one
had
spot. I was
the
actually
footage.
really shocked that I had, my top 2 shows are Amazon shows.
Our Amazon show.
And they're, like,
And
listen,
not too bad. It's The Boys kind of honorable mention.
the
And I
net-
forgot
the-
about Jack
Bezos
Ryan.
wins again.
well, thank you. I'm glad that it resonated a little bit. Like, the Netflix catalog is massive.
Right.
The Amazon one is starting to pick up. Hulu's got a few little shows in there. There's a couple, like, deep down. I couldn't put them in my top 5.
Right.
But I just love how they put money into it. There's definitely
And
production.
I do feel like Amazon, because they know they're coming late in the game, they're going for quality over quantity.
absolutely.
And they have to. Otherwise, like, who
Mhm.
cares?
I agree. They've always had high quality with shows like Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
But
They've
they
got a
came
lot.
late today. Man in High Castle. That's another example of how like they went for the content, they went for production, and they really had to make that mark because by then Netflix was already up here. You know, it was already so far ahead.
But Netflix, I feel like, just says, how many shows can we make? in
Right.
one
That's
month?
Right, and
there's
that's their
literally-
model, and it
there's-
works. But
But
that's not going to work
Netflix
for
has some-
everybody.
I was gonna say there's literally a South Park episode about that. where they
Netflix has
literally
some
are
pretty
like,
dope
Cartman's like,
shows.
hey guys, we're gonna do a show on Netflix because they're giving money to everyone to do it. And again,
Shit, we need to write a show for Netflix.
Hey, Netflix's
it's
first of
called
all,
Top 5 Go.
Top
Netflix.
5 go. Here's our show.
Kevin, what's
South-
your number 1? Oh,
Shut up.
I like.
Shut up. What you saying?
I was just like yelling about liking Netflix shows. I started watching Dear White People just the other week, so I feel like I can't really talk
I do
about
like
it.
Dear White People.
But I
It's
love
hilarious.
because like I love it, and it's like it has so many perspectives that is lovely, and I mean I've only watched season 1.
Ooh,
though,
season
so I
2,
can't
there's a
really,
twist,
talk about it
girl.
as if I'm like a fucking
Yes.
super fan. Oh, is there? Oh, you know what I like about it is that it's like, hey, here's some shit you never thought about, and also like you can relate to it, and also maybe don't be afraid to talk about some shit. Even though I'm super afraid to talk about shit, even though I'm scared to talk about it. I like that show. I like that show.
One,
That's all I'm saying.
it's another probably show you guys haven't watched, but I watched it from the first season, and then as each season released, I watched it all in one go. A show called Casual on Hulu. It came out in like
Never
2016.
even heard of it.
It had 4 seasons. It's
You seem like someone who
No,
watches like
no, I don't,
TNT
I don't.
originals.
this is I watch a lot of comedies. I think all of mine are comedies.
A lot of yours are.
You probably watch
No,
Royal
I like
Pains,
to
Royal
laugh.
Success shows.
Shantae making all the noise over here.
My bad.
I like to laugh. So
Ooh,
What's
what's that?
Casual? It's a show about a woman named Val who's newly divorced, and she's living with her brother Alex, who's like a dude that created basically Tinder or like one of those dating sites, and her daughter Laura, who's a 17-year-old teen, and she's newly divorced, and she's figuring out how life works now for her with as a woman that was married for like 20 years and now traversing life, dating, and all those good things. The show had 4 seasons. We just called Casual because she was casually dating. It was just so good watching the character interactions and how they grew through the series. And so she's a therapist, and so she's talking to her clients, but at the same time, she should definitely be in therapy herself.
My therapist
I
is
feel like
in
most
therapy.
therapists
She
do
revealed
need
to me
be in
during
therapy
my
because you take so much of
meeting
other
today.
people's shit. You do need to.
Oh,
get
she
it
was like, "Oh my god, for real." She was like, "My therapist told me to read this, and so I'm telling you." I was like, "You're crazy. I don't trust you."
So the same thing's here, and it's like, I mean, one of the main characters is a guy named Leon, who she sleeps with in the first episode. The main character Val sleeps with in the first episode on a casual hookup. Leon sticks around, hangs out with her brother Alex when Alex like makes breakfast for him for her conquest, and then they become like very good friends. And she doesn't sleep with him again. But that was
This sounds like a friend I have in real
and he
life.
now hangs out, and he became Alex's best friend.
Yeah.
And because Alex is just an interesting guy, such interesting characters in their lives. Casual show you guys haven't seen, definitely should watch it. I'm a big fan. Yeah. So Shauna, now's the time when we get into honorable mentions.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Honorable
Honorable
mentions.
mentions.
Oh fuck
Okay.
yeah! But there's
It's gonna be long.
but honorable mentions. I have so many that
What's
aren't
streaming
mentioned.
shows?
Streaming shows. So.
Is that okay?
Category is streaming shows.
No, there's no way because I love so many
They're not
FXX
streaming,
and True
so we
TV
do-
shows.
Well, then hit us with it.
I don't care. Billy on
I
the
do like
street.
Billy on the
Oh no,
Street.
my
It did
mic
not
fell
turn off
again.
streaming. It
Classic.
moved to streaming.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love.
He is
It did, and now it's streaming on
it
YouTube.
went from
so fuck.
TV to YouTube. No, I think it went
iPhone?
YouTube, TV.
Did it go to Netflix?
Yeah.
What did? It's Fuse.
It is on Netflix.
I don't think it's on Netflix. I googled
Billy
it
Eichner,
earlier.
right?
Yes.
Well, it is, but I didn't think it.
He was
It,
in a
it
show
was
called
not.
Difficult
It was
People.
not like
He was on a show
originally
called
produced.
Parks and Rec.
He. Oh, I've never seen that. Yes, he was, and
But
he was awesome on
I've
that
never
fucking
watched
show.
Difficult
And
People, but I've
Jameson
heard
does not
it's
like him on the show, but I love him.
One of those shows I need to watch.
What
I haven't
what's your-
either.
On the honorable mentions.
Well, I already said nailed it. I love Nicole Byer so fucking much, and she has a bunch of my fave podcast heroes: Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas, June Diane Raphael on the podcast. How Did This Get Made? Wonderful podcast. I don't fucking know. I just like. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's
Andrea
awesome. It's,
Savage?
I
Really
love
but-
that show. Not a streaming show.
The best show. It's
Love
just
the
not.
show.
It's not streaming, sir. Yeah, I don't. As I think I was very
You've been
blunt
penalized.
about
Well, what
That's
Shauna
all
didn't realize is that
fucking-
Shauna doesn't
I
have
will
TV,
not.
so she thinks everything is
I've
streaming
been-
because it's on the
I've been-
on the apps.
Listen, as someone who's raised in a fucking cave, I don't know what TV really is. And if I watch a real life interaction between two humans arguing, I think it's reality.
Shantae, what do you have on your honorable mentions list?
I have so many. I'm not going to say the ones that you guys said, so thank you for saying them. But Orange is the New Black.
Hated the dialogue in that show.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I watched
No.
one episode and I just couldn't.
I
get into
didn't
it.
watch
There's
that.
I get the premise is really neat.
Mhm.
I just couldn't deal with the
I
dialogue.
will say
in that
there
show.
are ebbs and flows in the season,
Yeah.
but overall, it's legitimate.
I could have
It's a
been
great
watching.
show.
I could have been watching. Season
based on a
episode
book.
3, and maybe that's on the downward slope. Maybe the first season was good. I couldn't get into the dialogue on the show. I don't know, something poor about that.
It's good. Okay. The ones that you guys didn't say. 7 Seconds. It's a limited series, but it still is a streaming series. Regina King did her thing. The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I
I've only watched 2
appreciate
episodes,
it.
but I love it.
Because
Love
people love the
her.
Star Wars world,
Yes.
and it
I
Yeah.
only have a Disney Plus thanks to Kevin.
Disney.
And I
like,
watch
the
Disney Channel
people love
original
the-
movies, and I
people love
masturbate
the
to
Star
their
Wars
times when I
world,
was
and
12
then
years
this is
old.
a great show that expands on it without adding more horrible movies to it. Even though there are a couple of, I will say there are a couple of plot holes in it to me. Like, this is supposed to be set 30
I'm
years
only
after.
I'm only 2 episodes
I've watched
in,
none of it,
so
so let's not talk
Okay,
So,
about
I'm
no
gonna
spoiler
stop
alert,
it. Fine, never
spoiler
mind.
alert.
But I will say there are some things in there that doesn't make sense, but I still appreciate it. High Fidelity from Hulu. Zoe Kravitz did her thing. Did I
Oh my
say
god, I love Zoe
No.
Kravitz.
Harlot's also on Hulu. Such a good show.
I actually
Big
want
Little
to.
Lies?
Can I slip in Big Little Lies?
Little
Fires
and
Everywhere.
Little
Did not
Fires
like
Everywhere.
Mostly because I read the book and it's so different from the book.
I read the book too, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't remember
hate
hating
everyone.
every fucking
In the
person.
book, I actually liked some people. I hated everyone in the show.
Oh, I was like, oh, they have like a lot of. I was like, oh wow, they have like a lot of like,
Like,
a lot of
everybody in
trauma,
the
so that
show.
makes them them.
And
then
Mia,
the book,
they made
in the
her,
movie,
like,
they're like,
so
oh, they're like,
pretty and stuff
Jack,
around.
I'm
Like,
a
she was not
dick.
such an
Oh my
asshole
God.
in the book.
I was like, oh my god, I was like,
Yeah.
I remember Mia being a wonderful character in the book. In the fucking show,
Yeah.
they're like, she's just another
hate it.
bitch you hate. I was like, what? No, that it totally takes
Right.
away from like the
It
point of the
changes
fucking
the tone
story,
of the
but
story,
okay.
changes the message, everything.
But
I hate it. And my last,
I think it.
yeah, my last one
I
is
think it
3%.
made it-
It's actually a Brazilian show. It's dubbed. It's on Netflix and it's dubbed, but you know it is originally Brazilian. It's so good. It's a dystopian future. There's an island where they have plenty. There's no want, and in the mainland where it's everyone's living in trash. And so every year,
It sounds like the Fire
maybe a
Festival.
little bit, but every year they have this this competition where you go through in the top 5. The 3% get to go and be on the island of one. And so there's intrigue, there's conspiracy, there's cheating, and it's so good.
Okay, gotcha. We've touched on most of mine, but I'm gonna say Ozark.
Good.
I had a tough time not putting that one in the top. You don't have to like it, but Jason Bateman as a money.
It's
no,
too
not an
late
honorable mention.
for that.
But
Yeah, but it's too late.
Yeah,
It's
it's
too
How is it
late
too
for
late?
Ozark, is what I'm saying. They're like, oh, drugs,
Oh,
but
yeah,
a
like-
different
like
perspective.
similar to, like Breaking Bad.
Okay, cool. Let's see where it goes. It's like, oh my god, Breaking
it's-
Bad's already happened. Like
No,
fucking
hold on,
Good
yes, not-
Good
I'm-
Girls
I'm
has
gonna
already
disagree.
happened. Like I'm
It's
so
a-
sick of it.
It's a money laundering show. It's a crime drama. It's money laundering.
That's the
no,
same
one-
fucking.
one dude
Oh,
had
it's the
cancer
same
and had
shit
to
though.
Do that for his family. In this one, the dude was just doing it. Yeah, sure, he
I-
was doing it for his family.
He did
but
it
he was
for
still a criminal.
fucking
Anyway,
to do it just
let
to
me
be
talk
more
about
rich.
Jason Bateman being a badass.
I'm just
Yes.
money launderer.
okay. Sorry.
But he's Jason.
I'm
he's
sorry.
just
I'm
Jason
going to
Bateman
interrupt you
being
the
Jason
entire
Bateman.
fucking
And I
time.
actually liked Jason Bateman in this moment. And I think that Laura Linney, who I've had a crush on since I was probably like 12, is phenomenal. Yeah. Have you
Really?
Have you seen the
Have
movie
you ever seen
Congo?
the
She
Squid
was
and the
awesome.
Whale?
Anyway, that was
I love
I
Laura
love-
Linney and Valentine's Day.
anyway. So my honorable
I li-
mention, thank you very much, was Ozark.
I like Laura Linney.
Well, for my,
Dishonorable mention based
Well,
on
you.
the
That's
reaction.
your reaction.
Well,
I
me-
think the rest
me.
of us are fine with
And
it.
as the guest, I feel like I literally I am the fucking center
for
of
me,
attention.
my
So I'm
honorable
sorry,
mention,
they
I have
guys
The
don't
Circle.
get it.
The Circle.
I've never watched it. I've heard
It's
about
so good.
yeah, The Circle.
No,
No,
the dating show.
Wait, the movie?
It's a dating show.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it. It's
Yeah.
a social media.
Oh, you're
show.
right. Oh, sorry. You are right. You're right. It's not
If
actually a
you're the
dating
most
show.
popular person in The
Sorry.
Circle.
You are right. No, you're
I
right.
thought
was
The
thinking-
Circle
I was
did
thinking the
refer
other
to
one.
the
No,
So it's
whole-
not on
amazing.
Pornhub.
No, not even
I
close.
thought it was very
No, that's
vaginal
distracting
in
me.
title.
Another one.
So, oh my god, no! I
No,
did
I
not
had the,
fucking start
the
that. You
Runaways.
did that.
Oh, the Runaways is good.
I forgot to put them on my honorable mentions. High five for that one.
The Morning Show on Apple Plus.
Also good.
Also phenomenal. Sorry, should have had that on my
And then
own.
lastly, on my honorable mentions, I had Dollface.
Dolphins.
Dollface.
Dollface.
Heard about it?
Oh my god, I tried to watch that. Kat Dennings has some beautiful
But I
breasts.
enjoyed the I watched it all in one. I watched it all.
Brenda
in
Song
one
aspect
day.
of the fucking.
One-ish day. I do love Brenda Song.
He
so
loves Brenda Song,
being in the
guys.
show was a
I did
thing.
too, but I did
Was
not
a
like
thing.
that show.
I
Was
enjoyed it.
super
I
boring.
enjoyed it immensely, but I didn't enjoy.
I was
it
like,
as
ooh,
much
I'm gonna
as
watch it
the
because I like
five.
everybody in it.
That's
Nah.
honorable mention, but it was a good one.
Right.
That's when I realized I didn't realize that I watched so many streaming shows
Mhm.
until we were compiling this list.
Yeah.
And then I had 15, 20 shows on here.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Really? I had
Well,
to
I mean, shows like
constantly,
Sex
like, I was like,
Education,
oh, I
BoJack
can't believe
Horseman.
that I.
Oh my God, Sex Education. Oh
Black
my
AF.
God, I didn't put that
Never
in my
watched
honorable
those
mentions,
two.
but it's such a good show.
See? Like
Like,
these are,
there's so many. Like, we could have made a top 50 with this thing.
yeah,
Easy.
I don't know if it is.
On
As-
Hulu
as
has
we
a couple
say,
of
we
good
live in
ones
the
that you
golden era
just
of
don't know about. Like,
television.
and
Another
Things that I
good
watched.
show on Netflix, The End of the
Pen
Fucking
15.
World. It's a
Pen
British
15.
show.
Yeah, end of the world.
So good.
Oh
There's no-
yeah, I saw
there's
that.
a
I
lot
saw
that
that.
we forgot.
And I do feel like
Season
Hulu
1
has
was
a lot
really
of
good.
Hulu has a
Season
lot
two
of good
was like,
shows,
eh.
but they don't promote it as
No, they
well as
don't.
the other ones. And I've watched some of them, and but they're just not in my the front of my mind.
Like you said, Pen 15. That's another good one.
They have a lot of really good shows. Guest host Shantae,
That's me.
Can you read us off our top 5?
All right. So you
each
want me to
person.
go by 5?
So
Go by
yeah,
five?
go
basically
by
what
five.
we're gonna do is we're gonna read off the top 5 over each person, and then we're going to vote on them to make a top 5 list,
All right.
comprehensive.
So Shauna's top 5. Number 5 was Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Number 6 was Shrill.
Number 4,
Number 4 was Shrill.
wrong way.
There you go.
Number 3, I know it's going up.
We're
Number
going
3,
up to
Summer High
10.
Tide. Number 2 was Girls, and number 1 was Master of None.
Okay.
My top 5. Number 5, Big Mouth. Number 4, Sense8. Number 3, House of Cards. Number 2, Handmaid's Tale. Number 1, Black Mirror. Aaron's top 5. Number 5, Stranger Things. Number 4, American Vandal. Number 3, Handmaid's Tale. Number 2, The Boys. Number 1, Jack Ryan. And Kevin's top 5. Number 5, The Awesomes. Number 4, Upload. Number 3, Friends from College. Number 2, The Yard. And number 1, Casual.
Perfect. So Sean, starting at 5, you cannot vote for your own. So no Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. What do you think is the best show at 5?
You
Yeah,
you
so-
did not tell me I had to listen. I'm
the
peeing
options
right
are
now.
Big Mouth, Stranger Things, or The Awesomes? Stranger Things. One vote for
Stranger Things. Stranger Things. 100%. I think that deserves a easier
If they're
like
at 5.
3 or
It's
2
actually-
spot,
I
but
I will
I'm
also
taking it
vote for
as the
Stranger
5.
Things if I can't vote
Yeah.
for mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Big Mouth because I loved it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to vote for the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but Stranger Things takes it. So
Woo!
perfect.
All right, we can
Yes,
definitely
I can
hear
You
hear
guys
it.
hear me
Liquid,
peeing?
getting liquid.
Yes! We're going to make
Well,
so much
doesn't
money
that
off
go
of
on,
this.
What's the new website for girls to OnlyFans?
Oh,
Just Shauna's OnlyFans
OnlyFans
says.
account.
Oh. Oh, obviously I have one. And if it's just because I'm a low life, no goal piece of shit. So please
No,
pay
Shantae,
me
we'll
to
start with
be
you
on
on this
you.
one. At 4, we have Shrill. We have Can't Do Sense8, American Vandal, or Upload.
It's between American Vandal and Upload, but I'm gonna have to go with Upload just because it was such a surprise how much I liked it.
All right,
Aaron, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Sense8.
Okay.
I liked that show.
Okay. I'm going to go with. I haven't seen none of these. I like the idea of American Vandal, how you explained it. So I'm going to go with American Vandal.
All right, so Shauna, it's on you.
Oh my god, 3-way tie.
Sense8.
I don't
So Sense8
remember.
was the
Okay,
show
I really don't
that had,
remember.
the
The
people that
8
were born at
people
the
that
same
were
time.
connected.
American Vandal was the one with the dicks.
Okay, that's
and
it.
Upload
That's
was
it.
the-
Nope, nope,
Sensei.
nope. I'm done.
Apparently it is
Sensei.
Give it to me.
Perfect.
We're a
perfect.
very classy podcast here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I don't debate. I
Aaron,
fucking yell
yes,
them. Like,
give Aaron, you have Handmaid's
I
Tale.
remember it now.
You have Summer Heights.
Okay.
What was that one? Summer
House of Cards.
Summer Heights High. My apologies.
Summer
House
Heights
of Cards
High.
Are friends from college.
I'm going with House of Cards. Even though it's controversial, I get it. Because of the actor, he's a douchebag.
Listen, other
True.
people worked on
Absolutely. No,
House
the
of
show
Cards
was
other
phenomenal.
than Kevin
Spacey's
Spacey.
a douchebag.
It doesn't mean that
That's a
American
fantastic
Beauty is
show.
all of a
It's
sudden
still
shitty just
a
because
douchebag.
Kevin
Everyone
Spacey's
is
a fucking weirdo. Yes. Oh my god!
I'll go with,
It's so
Handmaid's Tale
beautiful.
myself. Okay.
I'm gonna go
I
with
can't
Handmaid's
vote
Tale
for
as
House
well.
of Cards because I would,
Mhm.
but and I'm afraid that Handmaid's Tale might not win that 2 spots, so I'll go with Handmaid's Tale.
All right, it's got to be on the list.
It's got to
right?
be
It
on the
does.
list, even though it definitely should be higher. Than number
It's so good.
Hey,
I can't
that's
believe I
one
changed
spot
my.
away. It's all
That
about
was my number
putting it in the
3.
right spot. Hey,
All right.
3. That's what she said.
So at 4 we have the options of Girls. Two. My bad. Girls, Handmaid's Tale, The Boys, and The Yard. I'm gonna go with The Boys.
awesome. So I'm.
Wow, it's both for
Well,
the girls and the
Shauna, you're
boys.
up
It
next.
sounds
Oh,
sexist,
Shauna, you're
but
up.
keep going.
You can pick
You
between
can't pick the
Handmaid's
girls.
Tale
cannot-
again,
I
The
don't
Boys,
remember
or The
the other
Yard.
one.
The Yard was the one.
Yeah,
that
but I
was
don't
like
remember the
Sopranos.
yard.
It was like
With
the
kids.
recess for kids.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
Sopranos, but second grade version. Cool. I'm gonna pick
Okay.
the
All right.
Handmaid's Tale.
So.
I cannot pick Handmaid's Tale
Yeah.
because that was my pick. I have to go with The Boys. I watched The Boys. I love The Boys.
And I gotta wait. I gotta go with The Yard
The Yard was good. It was a good
because Girls is not an HBO show.
show.
Girls is a HBO show, but it's not.
Sorry.
No.
Girls
not
is
a
a
yes,
show.
it
It's not a
absolutely
streaming
is.
show.
The Girls.
No,
It
it's
is
No,
not.
What do you
HBO
mean?
has
HBO
HBO
is a
is a
network
service. However, Girls
Well, you-
was completely done before
He
they
literally-
got into streaming.
Yeah,
He took.
no,
Kevin told me HBO
No, 'cause
counted.
I would have had
Yes,
Westworld
you
on my
did.
list. I would have
Yes.
had
Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
but it
Are
is
you
not
serious?
Hey, listen, you had a
So
couple
I'm
of
the
these good shows
asshole?
on there.
He literally said
HBO
HBO,
Max
CBS
It's different.
before. I was like,
Picard,
CBS.
which I haven't watched, but
He's gonna say he didn't. He won. I
So,
will
hey,
not lie down
so lastly,
for this. You
can
100% said.
Master of None,
Oh, so
Black
I'm the
Mirror,
asshole
Jack
here.
Ryan, or Casual. You can't pick Master of None. Yeah. Black Mirror,
Me?
Jack Ryan.
Oh shit.
That's what I
We
figured.
did.
Should I
Black
take-
Mirror,
I
Black
can't play
Mirror,
Black
easily,
Mirror, so I'll pick Jack
easily.
Ryan.
I can't pick Jack Ryan, and I want to play this a mean way, but Black Mirror's solid. And I can't have Casual on my list. Sorry.
It's such a good show. You're
It's,
missing out.
listen, hey, I haven't seen
You've
it yet.
never seen it.
Black Mirror's
Trust me.
fantastic. I want to watch it.
Trust
Trust
It was
me.
iconic. It is.
Check it. You'll see it.
I will.
That's
Listen,
great.
it's
I'll go
really
Master
good.
of None.
Yeah.
But Black Mirror takes it.
All
So
right.
with that, we have the comprehensive list of Stranger Things at 5, Sense8 at 4, Handmaid's Tale at 3, The Boys at 2, and Black Mirror at 1. I believe.
Avon got the win.
Jack
I got the
takes
win.
the lead.
Too. The
Stranger
Yard
Things.
isn't yours.
My cat is
No,
eating
it's
a
The
wire
Boys.
right now, so I don't really
Oh,
care
Aaron
about
takes
this
the lead.
countdown.
I did it.
Hey, stop
I
eating
did it
fucking-
'cause I got
High
three.
five for that.
I got 3.
God
So
damn it.
congrats to Aaron.
Woo.
So
The only
congrats.
thing
Stop
about three is
eating
the family tells us more than it
electronics.
should have been.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't you.
Shauna, it's been a great pleasure having you. Thank
Does she hang
My
out?
cat is trying
I
to
can
electrocute
manage it.
itself.
It's okay.
My cat is
Listen,
trying to
your
kill
cat will be
itself.
fine.
Come here.
He'll be fine.
No, he's trying to
it was
eat a
pleasure
wire.
having you.
I don't know. I'm kind of mad now because you
HBO is
definitely
not
said HBO on it,
streaming.
and you're like, "Oh no,
Little
I didn't."
controversy.
No, I'm literally not even fucking.
That's the original streaming.
I'm not even having this conversation with you. You said you 100% HBO,
I have a-
CBS, and I was like, CBS is a
I
channel,
have
so I don't
text
how no.
receipts.
I'm never. You didn't text it to me. Guess what? Not everything we have is
So,
through text.
I
By by the
pleasure
way,
having
And when
you.
she said it, but
I'm-
I didn't want to Batman
I'm really-
her like y'all did me. So
That was funny.
So
can you hear me now? I'm really mad at
This has
Kevin,
been
and I
great.
hate
It's been
Kevin.
fun.
it's been great, wonderful.
you guys have a
It's
have a
been
good day. We'll be back
okay.
next
I'm
week
not
with
mad.
another topic. Bye.
Bye. Later.